Let's talk to Carole Brady. She's the executive director of Home Aid Houston, right here in Houston. Carole, welcome to the show.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Well, let's tell people, in case they haven't heard of Home Aid, that's AID Houston, let's tell people about your organization.
So, Home Aid Houston is, we're one of the charity of choices for the Greater Houston Builders Association. The wonderful thing about that is that we are able to connect builders with projects for homeless care agencies. So, when Boys and Girls Country out in Hockley needs a new cottage built to serve more children who have aged out of foster care, they contact us. And it might be something as large as one of their cottages, or it could be as small as putting the playground equipment out at the House of Tiny Treasures for Search, an organization that works with homeless kiddos while their parents are trying to get back on their feet. So we help connect and put together builders and trades within the area with very well-deserving nonprofits who really need a break on getting some work done on their facilities.
Well, it also sounds like you're giving them options and different ways to help because you are tuned in, it sounds like, to the needs of the people you're helping.
We are, and it's amazing how this city, as big as it is, it's amazing how wonderfully these nonprofits work together. They spread the word, they tell each other, what their needs are, but they also come to us and say, this is what we're looking for. We need a kitchen, we need a transitional housing unit. And we are lucky enough to be in a position where we can help make that miracle happen for any one of those nonprofits.
That is super awesome. And the organization, again, is Home Aid, Home and then AID. Carole, also, as far as helping, it's a big job, and we know here in Houston, certainly in the real estate community with builders, even realtors, it's such a giving part of our economy right here in Houston. So it is great to see that the builders are helping in such an incredible way. Also, you're involved with the Howard Hughes Corporation. We've had them as our guests, several of the people from the company as our guests on this show. Give us an idea of how you're involved with the Howard Hughes Corporation.
So you're right. When you talk about just the generosity of the builders, the real estate agents, the trades that are out here, it's amazing. And Howard Hughes really kind of sets the bar pretty high. They have been involved with Home Aid Houston for years. I believe there's several on our board of directors, on the Greater Houston Builders Association Board of Directors. They have been instrumental in helping us, Home Aid Houston, achieve some of the dreams that we are able to do. So when they came to us this year, and talked about doing this event for Bridgeland and for Woodland Hills, we were not surprised, but so honored that they chose us as one of the charities for this project. But they've been at the forefront of sponsoring golf tournaments and golfing in those golf tournaments and being part of our Project Playhouse and our Halo Luncheon. So they have been ongoing supporters of Home Aid since the beginning.
And I will say, let's tell people the website as we go forth here.
Yes, so it's www.homeaidhouston.org, and that's all one word, homeaidhouston.org.
Also, tell us how it feels. I mean, many of us have, I guess, not work at companies that are for-profit companies. Nothing wrong with that. But as you're involved in a nonprofit company that's doing tremendous work, just give us a feel for some of how you're helping and how the lives are affected of the people you're helping. But also tell us what it feels like from your end to be helping in the way and the satisfaction that you get and the satisfaction that the recipients of the help get?
That's a great question. I have to tell you, I kind of consider myself having one of the best gigs in town. This is such a wonderful event when you see a nonprofit, and I'll use one that we're in the middle of building with right now. So Family Promise of Lake Houston is up in the Humble area, and they serve homeless families with children trying to get back on their feet through self-sufficiency. So they came to us and said, we need to build a brand new life skills center, a place where adults can get their GEDs and educational and work training, do their budgeting classes and parenting classes, and really kind of this overall way of healing a family to get them back on their feet. We went, absolutely, let's do it. They had already bought the land. Now we're getting ready to watch them begin the build. And one of the families came up to me and said, I just graduated from this program. And she said, I feel so lucky to see this come to fruition. This has been their dream for years. And I'm going to come back as a graduate of this program and be a mentor for moms and families that come in after this building is built. And I thought, that's an amazing testimony to know that they know that this building is more than just a building. It's actually a way to self-sufficiency. It's the road to self-sufficiency. And because we got to help them save almost 50% of what it would normally cost them to build it, it's an incredible feeling. You just know that you are changing the lives of those individuals who are involved from the very beginning. My first trip up to Boys and Girls Country, I was taking a tour and a little girl walked up to me and she said, do you want to see my room? And I said, I would love to see your room. She said, well, you should. You helped build it. Oh, and I said, I can't wait to see your room. Yeah.
So heartwarming. I mean, you could feel the heartwarming. And the other thing that comes to mind as you're describing this and we're thinking about helping others in our world, and when people are young, teenagers, college, at any age, we think of this idea of we want to be successful. And success, sometimes the light goes on to successful, how we could do more for ourselves. But success is being a blessing and a help to others. That's also a definition of success that sometimes I think gets overshadowed when we think about portfolios and all these things that we have. But success is being helpful in other people's lives, and that you can't put a number on.
You really can't. And lifting somebody up that way is a success. And I have to tell you, our area has got some of the most generous builders and trades I have ever seen. And they're so quiet about it. They never brag about all the good work that they're doing in the community. And I think a lot of people don't realize just how unbelievably generous they really are.
We are talking with Carole Brady with Home Aid Houston. Also, Carole, I don't know, I'm on the internet right now as we're talking, and I see an article here. I don't know how current it is, but I hope you don't mind. I want to read this little part because I think this kind of goes hand in hand with what you're doing and adds just one more dimension of how awesome you are. Carole, and it says, Carole lives in Kingwood, Texas with her dog, Isla, who works 2 days a week as a therapy dog for the homeless children in the Family Promise Network.
Yeah, I have to tell you, she loves her kids. She's missed them during COVID. She's missed going down to work with them.
Well, paint a picture of Isla just for a second, if you would.
So it's actually pronounced Isla, but that's okay.
Okay.
So she is a Belgian Malinois Basenji mix, and she is a rescue pup from Bark. I got her right before Harvey, and she just had this immediate ability with kiddos, and so we decided to start bringing her down to the shelter, and we got her trained so that she could work with the kiddos, and it turned out to be an absolute blessing for both. But yeah, she's a sweet girl. She's about 3 years old now, so.
Well, we know certainly everybody, but especially people in the real estate community, realtors, and everybody seems to, in between breaks on the show, we end up talking about each other's dogs. So a lot of realtors are helping dogs, have multiple dogs. But I'm picturing this dog is also very satisfied when it sees the effect that it has. And a therapy dog, I could just see him at work. That has to be so gratifying.
It really is. It really is.
Well, Carole Brady, let's tell people how they can learn more and they can reach out to your organization.
All right. Well, thank you. So The website, as we mentioned before, www.homemadehouston.org, has a number of ways to reach out to us. Our direct line, or my direct line, is 281-664-1436. You can always call me. We have an outreach committee. We have groups that go out and help folks and nonprofits all throughout the year. We have our giving campaign coming up for Thanksgiving, where we put together Thanksgiving baskets for 3 to 5 of our homemade agencies that we serve. So we take those to them for their clients, and that's our way of giving back to them to help out. But yeah, we have golf tournament coming up right now, and we have our Halo virtual luncheon that will be October 30th. Our golf tournament is October 8th. We kind of moved everything into the fall, obviously, like a lot of nonprofits. This has been a challenging yet an insightful year. As strange as things are, we've really learned how well our nonprofit as well as our builders can adapt to the changing times. And so because of that, we're able to do a lot of our events in the fall, which we're really grateful to do. So, yeah.
Sounds great. The website again is homeaid, AID, Houston.org. She is Carole Brady, the Executive Director of Home Aid. And Carole, one more time, the phone number is
281-664-1436.
Awesome. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Bill, for having me. I really appreciate it.
And give your dog a little pet on the head if you would.
I will do.
All righty.